Going to be talking about Tua and him finally being in the facility today and some NFL updates. What is up, fans? Yes, like you can tell by the title, there's some NFL updates. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about Tua. I also got another video planned about Tua, but that'll go on later on in the week. I literally just wrote down on my dry erase boards all the videos I have planned for this upcoming week or two, and I got about 6. And that's not including live streams. It's not including breaking news. It's not including a ton of other things I got planned. 6. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I don't know what you're waiting for. I got a lot of videos planned before training camp even gets here. But before I jump into the fat of the matter, talk about the NFL, talking about Tua finally in the building, I want to shout out 2 brand new Patreons, and that is Alec and Chris Haggins. Chris Haggins with the $8 donation a monthly, and Alec with the $4. Thank you guys so very much. Be sure to let me know when you're there in the live stream, and I will make you mods, because that is one of the perks of being a Patreon on top of many others. Special videos, you get to become a live stream member like Vic was, because he's an MVP. He was my co-host. So there's a ton of different Patreons. If you want to check it out and see which tiers and stuff, it's linked below. But again, don't feel like you need to. And also Zonk, boop, he got himself a hoodie, so shout out to him and grabbing him some DDW merch. Like I said, I'm working on getting the merch a little bit better, getting new merch, doing a bunch of stuff. So I got that stuff in the works. But other than that, let's jump into this video. So it's a late video. You guys are probably watching this around midnight. I'm recording this around 10:30. Today it broke that Ezekiel Elliott and other Texans and Cowboys players have tested positive for, you know what, I can't talk about it because YouTube is a stickler about it. But that puts into talks and puts into thoughts, is the NFL season in question? And that's why it's also named in the title. Is the NFL season in question with some of the players now testing positive? I don't think so. I'm not going to, jump overboard and think, oh my God, this is it. We're all, the season's going to be canceled, all that stuff. I don't think so. I think precautionary things are going to be put into place. I think the more people get tested, the more we'll know who has it. We'll be able to, take precautionary actions with those people that have tested positive. That's why the tests are important. That's why getting a lot of tests are important. Yes, it might show more, positives, but it's important to know who is positive so you can work around it and get them quarantined until they're better. 2 weeks or so. But will there be a 2020 NFL season? I can't give you a definite yes or no, but I hope so. I really do hope so. But, take it day by day. See how things pan out, see how the arc goes, see how all that stuff goes. But as of right now, yes, NFL players have tested positive. And we'll see where that goes from there. Thought I'd let you know that. Now, to the Tua part of this video. Yes, Tua Tagovailoa is finally, officially today, Monday the 15th, in the Miami Dolphins organization. It took a very, very long time for him to get here, but he is finally here, and he's finally being able to be trained here, and he's finally being able to see our medical officials to see how he's doing. So there was a bunch of updates. Where they talked to Kevin Wilk, who was the trainer for Tua while he was not at the Miami Dolphins organization, and wanted to get his idea of how he's doing when it comes to the progression of his injury. And he said he's a little ahead of schedule as far as we'd like him. We're constantly trying to slow him down just a little bit because an athlete like that is just chomping at the bit, just begging to get back out there. He wants to do more and more, so we have to hold him back, and really that was from the beginning. He also wanted to do more. That is really great to hear. I really like to hear that Tua has that fire, has that desire. He wants to prove the people wrong. Like I said, I have a ton of videos playing, and one of them I broke down and watched every snap Tua took against LSU, and a lot of these narratives that are out there that I'm hearing just don't make sense. So I'm going to make a special video specifically talking about that game against LSU because a lot of people want to say, hey, Tua did this against an inferior team. So I'm breaking it down against the number 1 team, the championship of 2019, the LSU Tigers. So they went back to ask, Wilk more about Tua, about his hip, and he said that that it healed well after the surgery. There was no wear and tear. None of the other concerns like the femoral head, essentially the ball joint that goes in the hip, or the hip socket at all. The hip, and you got a socket. And that's where your leg is. It's in this socket and it moves. Nothing was damaged when it came to his injury or anything like that. And they also talked about the blood supply to his leg. They said in the hip area was also not compromised, which is what happened with Bo Jackson. Everyone wants to compare Tua's injury to Bo Jackson's injury. It's day and night and day. Apples to oranges, coconuts to watermelons. It's completely different, being the fact that Bo Jackson didn't get surgery. Bo Jackson waited weeks, and he had complete compromise of the blood flow to his hip, whereas Tua that night got hip surgery. Completely two different things. But yes, the Dolphins have been waiting to talk to him, waiting to get on him, waiting to work with him. Brian Flores said, quite honestly, it's hard not to have your hands on them. Specifically to Tua, he's working hard, he's picking up the information, but you want to get your hands on them, quite honestly. And that is where I talked about in my video the 2011 season with the lockout and not having any Zoom meetings, nothing, going right into training camp, into the season, how it is kind of similar to what's happening now. Yes, they have Zoom meetings. Yes, they're going over the plays, and so you can have an understanding of audibles and stuff like that. But until you're on the field and until you're actually working with the team and working on your foot movement and all that stuff and working in unison, it's a horse of a different color. You can get the playbook and you can understand it, but if you can't make the throws, run the routes, understand, pick up that blitzer, you can't pick up these blitzers, it completely throws everything out of whack. It says Tua Tagovailoa's accuracy, instinct, athleticism, and the feel in the pocket reminds NFL evaluators of a young Steve Young, who is also left-handed. Then they talk about in the rest of this article about potential of Fitz starting, and a lot of people think that Tua should sit and let Fitz do his thing and not force him out there. But if Tua beats him out, should he? And then the whole Rosen thing, I talked about that already. But like I said, I'm going to make a video specifically breaking down Tua's every snap against LSU. Because like they said, he does have good pocket presence, good, reading the defense, pre-snaps, all that stuff. And I've heard from other people, from comments, all that stuff, that he doesn't. And I was super confused. I've heard that he stares down his receivers. I'm watching the LSU film, and I'm like, I could see him doing his progression. I see his head moving. So, like I said, I'm going to make a video breaking down the LSU game because that was, the top game. That is against the top end of college team. So I'm going to do that. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of Tua being in the building. I'm super excited that he's in the building. I'm super excited they can finally get their hands on him, get him in shape, get that hip checked out. But I honestly think that the hip it's good. I think if he wins it out and can play week 1, I think physically he can do it. Again, it's not up to me. It's not up to us as fans. It's more up to Brian Flores. But having Tua in the building, listening to all the things Tua is doing and watching more and more film, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So I want to hear from you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think of Tua being in the building. Let me know what you guys think of everything that I said from this article, especially from the guy who trained him, saying his hip is well above and well beyond where it should be now, and he's just pushing and pushing harder and harder to do his thing. Also, comment below. I want to know, are you guys nervous that they're not going to be a 2020 season? I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Nothing political. I don't want to hear one iota of something political. I swear to Bob. Let me get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this comment comes from Enrique, and this is what Enrique has to say. Hashtag comment of the day. If Rosen gets his chance and absolutely balls out, what should we do with the quarterback situation? Do we pay Rosen to be our franchise quarterback and trade Tua? Do we keep both? Or do we trade Rosen and keep Tua and develop Tua? I ask this because I think many fans will feel bittersweet if we find our franchise quarterback in Rosen, not Tua. In that situation, Rosen beats out Fitz, and I've talked about this. I'm not saying that I don't want it to happen. I'm not saying that he's going to get traded. I'm not saying any of the things. I want him to get a fair shot. I've said this time and time and time and time again. So say Rosen does ball out, he beats Fitz, he starts, and all of a sudden he just lights it up and he wins us, 10, 11 games, gets us to the, wild card. We win the AFC East. All these great things. Rosen did it. It's all on Rosen. What do we do? That's what he's asking me. What do we do with the situation? Well, first of all, we have him under contract next year, so there's no point in giving him a huge contract because we have him under contract next year. It's the year after, and then there's also the franchise tag. So there's no need to jump to, let's give this guy a contract extension. Again, for me, when it comes to giving people contract extensions, I need to see multiple years of success. Jesse Davis, too soon. Xavier Howard, a little too soon. Jakeem Grant, too soon. But Jakeem Grant's contract is a very team-friendly contract, so I'm not too upset about that. But like Jesse Davis, gave him too soon. So no, I'm not doing that. Also, you keep Tua. You got Tua for 3 years. Again, not a big contract. But in this situation, you'd have 2 young, good, capable quarterbacks at a very cheap price. So again, if Rosen balls out and, if Rosen balls out and takes the team far into the playoffs or takes them to the playoffs, you keep him. But again, and I will say this isn't me saying what I want, and this isn't me saying that, this is what needs to happen. This is me as a logistic, taking myself out of the situation, looking at the bigger picture, right? Say Tua is playing great. Say Tua does great in preseason, but Rosen's a little bit better. And then Rosen ends up, doing really well. Tua eventually, Rosen goes down a game or 2. I'm not saying I want to happen, not saying it's going to happen. Giving you scenarios, because if you're giving me this scenario, I'm going to give you another scenario. Tua comes in, plays really great for those 2 games. Rosen comes back, they put Rosen back in again, continues success, takes us to the playoffs. Which quarterback did the Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores, draft at number 5? It's Tua. I honestly think if you take yourself out of that situation and you look at what the team did, I honestly think they would probably trade Josh Rosen. I can already hear the comments getting really mad at me for this. But you drafted your quarterback at 5. You took Tua Tagovailoa at 5. I honestly am thinking that's your guy. Josh Rosen balls out. Cool. We can get a second again for him because someone's going to want him. We could potentially get a first for him because his next year's contract is super cheap. Boom. And then all of a sudden you trade him away for more picks. They did it with Laramie Tunsil. Why wouldn't they do it with Josh Rosen if he balls out? Especially because they have Tua, the guy that they drafted number 5. So again, there's multiple situations. They keep them both. They trade Rosen for a high draft pick. Ton of situations. But the one situation I don't see is they would not trade Tua. They drafted him number 5. They would not. I honestly don't see that happening. And if you really take yourself out of the I don't like Tua, I like Josh Rosen or vice versa situation, you got to take yourself out of it. You got to take a step back and look at the big picture. It would just make more sense to trade Josh Rosen and keep Tua, especially because you drafted Tua at 5. That's the way I see it. Hey, you could disagree with me. Be sure to comment below. Also, while you're commenting below, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Like I said, breaking down a ton of things over there. I have a ton of things planned for you guys, especially on Twitter. Fan-to-Fan Network, huge network. Be sure to go check them out on Twitter. Be sure to also check them out on Twitch. We're going to start doing Sunday broadcasts before games and stuff like that. I'm telling you, this Fan-to-Fan Network thing is going to be huge. So I'm going to link the Twitch account below. Be sure to go there, check it out. It's going to be like Sunday morning games, that primetime pregame stuff, but from the fans, from your YouTubers. So you don't got these guys talking one-sided out their ass. So be sure to check that out. Also check me out on Instagram. Other than that, also check out The Bit Boys. Got some nice games coming out. We got some new games coming out. Last of Us 2 is coming out. I'm going to be playing that on the channel, so be sure to check that out. Other than that, give me a thumbs up. Like I said, I got a ton planned for you guys. I literally just wrote down 6 or 7 videos I got planned. I got a huge AFC East collab coming. Huge one. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up because you like the content, you like the videos, and you like the channel. Check out DolphinsTalk.com. Great Dolphin site. Everything you want there. Dolphins, you get it. Hit that subscribe button so you can see all the videos I got planned, and be sure to hit the bell so you know when they come out. Also, when I'm going live, again, I will be live the 27th at 1 o'clock. I go every other Saturday live, 1 p.m. So I hope to see you guys there. But other than that, I will see you guys Wednesday with my next video. It's going to be a good one. I'm not spoiling it, but like I said, I got 6 planned for you. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.